I'm joined here by a metaphorical and literal titan of the North American scene. It's Zombs. He's at least this big, absolutely massive, and the amount of stuff he puts out in the server is just equally gigantic. Zombs, you are coming off an extremely big win here against Fnatic. That upper bracket game, everybody was looking forward to it. But a lot of people had you guys as the underdogs. Apart from the North American analysts, a lot of people were saying, okay, the European region, it's looking really strong right now. We had Sean on our co-stream at the beginning. He's saying, Europe, they're going to stomp this. Of course, everyone thought Sentinels was good. Right, exactly. And that's what I'm getting to, Zombs. What do you have to say to people like us who were so wrong?
Can I curse on this? Or?
Absolutely, of course you can.
I don't know what the fuck they're putting in the EU water, but these guys are like crazy. I mean, we're the best team in the world. We're gonna prove it. We're here to win.
I like it. I like that level of confidence as well. What do you make of the idea that the European teams are more tactical? Do you feel like that's true, but you just outplayed them, or do you feel like that in itself is just also nonsense?
Yeah, I feel like that's definitely nonsense too. I mean, like we scrimmed a lot of the EU teams, like a lot of the ones that aren't even in this tournament, they're just like running it down, like same as I think it's the same as NA, but maybe like a little more thoughtful, like running it down.
Okay, a little bit of a little bit of brain, but mostly just inting. Is that what you experienced?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Okay. What makes you guys here's a question. I'm thinking about how to formulate it. How have you managed to get such a tier above the competition within North America?
I think our players individually are just all super talented and we all like fit really well together. I think we have the best teamwork and I think we also have some of the best individual skill and I think a lot of other teams can't say that.
That's very true. Can you give us some input of what it was like playing in European scrims? I mean, obviously, they're running it down mid, but what are some of the differences playing against the North American running it down mid and the European running it down mid? Like, what's the difference? Is there a noticeable difference in style between the two regions?
Yeah, I mean, Europe definitely runs a lot of like out there compositions and different stuff. So a lot of like spamming flashes. Like Sky is super annoying to play against, honestly. Like the birds flying at you, but I think their ability usage is probably better. And I think the difference, like EU has like way more teams that are good, and then like NA just has like a few, and then it's like trickles down.
And then you guys just sat at the top, the kings of North America.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, not too bad whatsoever. Talk to me a little bit about the map veto. Were you expecting them to pick Icebox into you guys?
I personally wasn't expecting it, but then like I thought maybe they saw like we got like blown out by 100 Thieves or something, so I was like maybe they're just going off of that. But I mean, we were definitely like prepared for Icebox, and I think actually like a few of us had like a really horrible map and we still won. So like when we're all on, like be ready for us.
It's just GG if you guys are all hitting your shots, I guess.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about when you guys were up and they started coming back. That happened on both maps where the game got a lot closer towards the like latter third of the map. But you were staying ahead and then it gets tight towards the end and you're always able to close it out. Are there any doubts in your team's mind as they start to like close that and bring it to a closer game?
I don't think there's any doubts. I mean, they just start coming back and then we like have to figure out what to do to adjust, and we always play the same, like we play our game.
Okay, what were some of the big adjustments that you had to make across this series? Or maybe even across playing against any of the European teams? Are there some things that you've had to do whilst prepping for Iceland that you haven't had to do so far in your team's kind of journey through competitive Valorant?
I don't think we had to change anything major. I think we just like adjusted to like, we figured out like how the other team is like playing certain sites and what they're pushing, and like we would like we didn't really have anyone push through mid on Icebox most of the rounds, and then we just like sent tens like mid one round, and he like got like a good flank kill because it was like the first round we did that, and I think that actually won us like one of the later rounds after they started coming back, like doing our same default in other places and then having lurked.
Yeah. Let's talk about tens for a little bit, because when you guys picked him up to go through Masters 1, it felt like a honeymoon period. Everything was working fine. You just roll in people. You get into the games against FaZe and you just dumpster them. It wasn't even close. Then, as you qualified for Iceland, there were definitely some more hiccups along the road. The loss to BBG, for example, looking a little discoordinated. Tens trying to pick up the Rays and stuff like that. Then, in the last month, it has just been big improvements from that point. Can you describe to me the journey of integrating tens into the team and where you feel you're at now?
Yeah, I mean, I think we lost to BBG. Just actually, I mean, like part of it is like Tyson flying out to LA and like never even turning on the PC before our match, and like his headphones didn't work and like a bunch of random stuff. But we also, I think that loss was so good for us, and I think we wouldn't have even qualified for Iceland if we didn't lose there because we completely changed our comps to adapt to the new meta. Like we were stuck on the old meta stuff because the tournament we played prior to that was on the old patch, so we were scrimming the old patch for so long that we didn't get to catch up on the new stuff. So losing to BBG like made us realize we have to like switch all of our stuff to the new meta.
I mean, talking about the new meta, you've picked up the Astra, but and your team has picked up Viper. I don't want to say that you guys haven't adjusted to the meta at all, but you're not exactly the same as like a version 1 where you're trying to play it on literally every map you possibly can. So what are your team's thoughts at the moment about how heavily you have to pick certain people like Astra, like Viper? There's a range of different opinions as you go through the teams in Iceland. We've seen teams play Omen, play Brim, play Astra, play Viper, or I mean Cypher wasn't even played very much until you guys took the stage and Dapper was playing it in a couple of games. What's your overall thoughts on what is kind of the status of the must pick agents right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think Astra's a must pick, man. These other teams that aren't running her are definitely trolling and throwing. If you're not running Astra, you're not going to win this tournament. Like that's it. Period. These teams that aren't running Astra are not going to have a deep run, like for sure. And I think we're fine with the meta. Like Mike Dapper loves playing Viper on other maps. Like Viper Astra super strong together, and these other teams that aren't running that on a lot of the maps are going to have a hard time.
What about the Brimstone as well? We just saw Liquid fall to version 1. I keep thinking back to your comment.
The Brimstone is just troll. Like, why would you play Brimstone when you can run Astra and just have like they can't even hit your site? You just press the suck button. They can't do anything.
Yeah. I'm assuming then that we're not going to see the famous Zombs Brimstone.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Well, maybe. You never know.
Okay. You're just throwing that one in. Throwing that one as a curveball there, just in case. Shazam brings out the document and he's like, Zombs, you are playing Brim for the next map. And you're like,
yeah, I don't know. Maybe he'll tell me I'm on Brim. I don't know what's happening.
Okay.
I just play the game.
I want to touch on that for a moment as well. I know that Shaz does a lot of the kind of counter-stratting and the prepping and that kind of stuff. How much does it bleed down into you? Like, how much personal prep did you do, like, actually yourself for playing against Fnatic? Did you have any idea of what they were going to run and what kind of style you needed to play?
I don't know what the hell is going on. I just show up and he's like, yeah, they're doing this. And yeah, I don't know. It's all him, honestly. He does so much for his team.
Okay. Did you feel like the team overall, though, was prepared to play against Fnatic? Did you have some good ideas of what kind of stuff you wanted to do just straight out the gates?
Oh, yeah. We had a ton of information about how they play and their hits and what their tendencies. So worked out for us.
Okay, very good. Your team, the next match that you've got coming up, you're playing against Vikings. What is your feel on Brazil right now, the strength of that team? They had what I would describe as an unusually close win over X10.
Yeah. I mean, these other regions are definitely super overrated. I don't know why, like, everyone's hating it. All of a sudden, everyone's just hating on NA for, like, no reason. Like, I don't even know how they're justifying this, but they're, like, hyping up these other regions so hard with literally nothing to back it at all. So I'm just, like, so confused about that.
I mean, yeah, it boggles the mind, doesn't it? I'm just going to pretend here that I wasn't part of that group. I'm just going to pretend that I always believed in North America. We're going out now. We're going to have some burgers. We're going to wear Uncle Sam hats and Yeehaw and K-Kona all over the place. I don't know how to do the American thing. I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best.
You're doing great.
Thank you. Good luck in your upper bracket games. I'll definitely be anticipating that run through the upper bracket. It's a lot of fun to watch you play. Good luck in the rest of your games. I hope you go very far.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.